Alright, welcome back to another episode of Goblin-Sighting D&D. In a couple of previous episodes that we unearthed, you'll notice that we have not officially labeled ourselves, therefore that's why that one episode splits in the middle to give us the first episode of Goblin-Sighting D&D. That was our first officially christened episode. So, with that in mind, I'm the Mad DM. These are my fearless adventurers. Our Tabaxi guest from last night will not necessarily be joining us. I've given him a call to see if he's in, so he may be joining us halfway through the adventure. In the interim, the adventurers have slain Venomfang in a climactic showdown, gaining vengeance and restored self-esteem after thoroughly kicking his butt in repayment for what happened last time at Thunder Tree. And now, as we prepare tonight's adventure, we will not play Panic at the Disco. we will begin our adventure. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at the hoard. So, Venomfang has created a not small collection of gold and gemstones and items. So if you guys want to roll some investigation checks to see what you find, not going to be super high DC. It's you're basically just kind of rummaging through. It just depends on how long it takes you.
13.
Okay.
5.
Huh.
That's the investigation went up.
Huh.
Snoozing.
Oh my. Or Elizabeth.
Oh.
The lady Nat one on her investigation check.
Better here than someplace else.
She just is just completely off in her own world, just staring down at Venomfang's bloody body. As Victor does not do much better. He's pretty caught up in that too. On the other hand,
Are we surprised and shocked? Finnan.
Finnan nat 20s
Oh,
on
you're
his
kidding
on his
me.
investigation
Oh,
check. He just
Oh,
dives in and is just
I had
finding
10
everything. All right,
Oh, wow.
all right. So
I do hope he's kind
It
of
takes-
calling it out as he finds it. Oh, look, oh, look, oh, look.
there's a little bit of the latter, but most of the things that he does not have any use for, like a bag of beans and a wall of fire scroll, are things that he does call out. For reference, the I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Magic. Wall of fire. Nope, not even. Wait. Check. Oh, it's cantrips. It's gonna take a second. This first level.
I have a +7 on investigation.
I do not.
Wall of fire. Right. Sand, water. Here it is. Wall of fire. 4th level evocation. Verbal, somatic, and material. A small piece of phosphorus. Concentration spell up to a minute. It's a range of 120 feet. You create a wall of fire on a solid surface within range. You can make a wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. The wall is opaque and lasts for the duration. When the wall appears, each creature within its area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 5d8 fire damage, half as much on a successful save. One side of the wall selected by you when you cast this spell deals 5d8 fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side or inside the wall. A creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn, or ends its turn there. The other side of the wall deals no damage. So it's 4th level, so you can cast it with a decently high wisdom DC and risk botching it, or you can hold on to it for when you can cast 4th level spells and then cast it without using a spell slot.
I'm gonna hold.
Okay, so you can add a wall of fire scroll to your inventory, however you want to do that.
Do you want a card or you just take
And then items. Let's see if we can find a bag of beans here. 6. They may not be here specifically.
Is it literally just edible beans or something?
I wouldn't eat
else?
these beans from what I remember seeing.
Okay.
Should we do an arcane or something? Check on the beans?
He's got to find it
Um,
first. He's got to find it first.
Sorry, I gotta find these stupid beans. Worms. That's it. Bag of beans. Inside this heavy cloth bag are 3 D4 dry beans. The bag weighs 1/2 pound plus 1/4 pound for each bean it contains. Oh my. Roll a history check, both of you, to see if you know what it contains. Hang on, let me tell you how many beans are in here.
So, is that enough to know something?
It weighs like
Two and a quarter.
2.5
What
pounds.
quarter pound? What's
2.5 pounds.
It's half pound plus 3/4 of a pound?
Plus 1/4 pound per bean. There's 7 beans in there.
7? Oh, I thought there were 3. Okay.
There's 3 D4 worth of beans. What?
What are the beans worth? I mean, what do they do?
What did you roll?
It's 19.
Okay. If you dump the bag's contents out on the ground, they explode in a 10-foot radius extending from the beans. Each creature in the area, including you, must make a dexterity saving throw. Taking fire damage on a failed save, halved on successful, ignites flammable objects. Okay. If you remove a bean from the bag, plant it in dirt or sand, and then water it, the bean produces an effect 1 milliliter from the ground where it was planted. I determine an effect from the following table, determine it randomly, or create an effect. So you can either throw it to make fire damage,
But I would get damaged also, or?
anyone who is using it. It's not necessarily an
right.
arcane
Right. Okay.
requirement to use it.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot radius
So you can't throw
extending
it.
from the beans, so you gotta throw it
Yeah. Pretty far away.
minimum of 10-15 feet away to get away from it. Or you can plant it, and 1 minute later some random effect will occur.
Wow. 7 of them, huh? That's cool.
Oh my.
Is that, but
So
that's something
whoever wants
anybody...
to take the beans, take the beans. There's a bag of beans and a wall of fire scroll that Finnan.
I'm taking the fall.
I'll take
You see Finnan start to like pull this bag out, and he goes, "Ooh, beans!" and you grab it.
No!
He's like, "What? What? They're
Finnan.
beans."
It will burn you badly.
Oh. So he starts like,
Give them to Edra.
Edra. We'll take them.
"Okay."
Thank
Be
She
careful,
will
they burn
keep
you.
them
Yes, thank you.
safely.
He hands him over. He's like, "Be careful, they burn you."
Yes, they're carefully
All
stowed.
right.
They're a very dangerous thing to use, probably as a last measure.
So, with that aside, wow, you you find 745 copper pieces. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
A bigger boat?
It's like the Jaws reference, you know,
Yes.
when they first see the shark.
Yes.
3,441 gold pieces.
3,100?
441 gold pieces.
Wow.
43 platinum pieces.
Ooh.
There's another pencil in the box if you want it as well. And 2,804 silver pieces.
Wow. Now remember, we got to divide this with Ted too, so there's 6 of us now.
6 parts. Yeah, I'll message him his share of the loot
Yeah.
when it comes around. I don't think we're going to. I hope he doesn't begrudge us the bag of beans. I know he won't begrudge us the spell scroll because he can't use it.
If he wants it, he can have
I've
it.
offered him Lightbringer, the mace,
Oh, okay. Yes, exactly.
if he
Yeah.
wants it. But
I don't think anybody in our group can afford to put down any of their weapons.
nobody wants it at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody else has something that they use. Liv does great axe as a family heirloom. Victor would sooner part with his arm than talon.
Yes.
Finnan just doesn't use maces. You know, he might be persuaded to use it, but I don't think it's a dex weapon. And if a mace is not a dex weapon, if it's not a finesse weapon, meaning he can't use his dex bonus.
Right.
Thanks. Nope. it's not a finesse weapon, so he would have to resort to his strength, which is not good.
Right.
So he doesn't want it, and you have Hugh.
I don't
And
need
he's
anything
gonna
other
warhammer,
I have
so-
two,
Is it
and I got
perfect?
2 stats.
And you can already cast the cantrip Light, which one of the things Lightbringer can do is it can cast light from the head.
Excellent.
Because it was made for Lathander's cleric, who's like a god of the dawn. So it was made for that. He can, when he comes back, he can talk to us about Dragon Guard. Dragon Guard is a +1 breastplate,
Oh yeah.
which Victor has had his eye on a breastplate for a while. This obviates that problem to a certain degree, but if Ted doesn't want it, Victor has his eye on it. If no one else wants a breastplate,
Well, at this point in time, I'm not doing
Am I
most
able
of
to
the.
use a breastplate?
not in spellcast.
At this point in time, I'm not doing most of the
What's your
handling.
dex? Oh, sorry to interrupt. I just
That's okay.
had a question because
-1.
okay, you don't want a breastplate.
Yeah.
Breastplates are good for people who have like a positive dex bonus over 2.
Oh, okay.
Or 2 or higher, because they allow you to add your dex bonus up to 2 to your thing. So
If
I've
I were
got
aware of
Finish
+2 on
warriors,
dexterity.
that would be
really
one
doesn't
thing.
want it because he has a much higher dex bonus, which allows him to get a higher armor class
Oh, okay.
by using light armor. Because his dex bonus goes to 4 now. And he's only level 5, so he's not interested in anything heavier than studded leather.
Yeah. No, I'm.
Whereas
I'm good.
Victor doesn't have much of a height in his dex bonus going up in the offing. So a breastplate offers 14 flat armor class, +1 if it's a magic breastplate, and then he can add 2 dex bonus and his shield.
Ooh, nice.
So
nice.
yeah, he really has his eye on Dragon Guard.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Ted won't want it, but we can quibble with it. We'll know about it later. Flip for it, fight for it, riddle for it, something. Back
He'll
to
be-
the Horde.
Right.
There's 3 Chalcedony
Calcedony.
gems worth 50 gold pieces, I think a piece. 1 chrysoprase worth 50 gold pieces.
And one
Yeah.
chrysoprase.
1 citrine worth 50 gold pieces. All of the gems are worth 50 gold pieces a piece.
Okay.
3 onyx,
Ooh.
1 sardonyx, and 3 star rose quartz. All of these are cut gems that have been beautifully worked,
Mm.
and they're not huge. They're about an ounce. I don't know how heavy they are. They're like worth a pound's worth of coin, but I don't think that counts.
Don't think they were really that much
No.
by any means.
So
So I got through to silver when I went and checked something else.
Cal- Here's the list right there.
So what we need to do is, I'm assuming we're going to just hop over to Neverwinter and sell the gems.
Yeah, I think that's
So we can just count that as gold in pocket for now, for our divvy. Because we'll just, narratively, we're just going to go over to Neverwinter, and I'm sure that with a reasonable investigation check, we can find someone to sell the gems to.
Oh, Neverwinter,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Because
It's going to be a low DC, so
yeah.
with that settled, we need to figure out how to divide, for now, the
Right.
coins. 745 copper pieces divided by 6. I can run the calc on
Right
my
on. Go ahead, yeah.
your phone.
Sure.
Thanks. I don't want to take down the photo.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you have a new message, by the way. Okay, 745 divided
Since
by
we're going to sell them, I'm not
6.
going to write down all the gems.
That's a good point. I think your battery may be dying.
It is dying, absolutely.
Okay.
Here you go. I think that's
120, 124
Okay.
copper pieces a piece.
Okay.
Give these back so you don't kill your phone.
Yeah.
124 copper.
Yep. Everyone writes down 124 copper. I'm gonna run the calc first and then get the divisions off of you guys later
Okay.
for my players and then to message Ted.
So the coppers are at the top.
Yep. It goes
I
copper,
had
silver.
280 of those.
Okay, so you add.
Yeah, I'm going to move that off of there. 280 plus how many?
124.
124. And what I've been
So
doing,
that's
and you don't have to do this because you're like really low on your weight class, but
two-
yep. Something like that.
420. Okay, and then under that is what?
Silver.
So how many silver do we get?
Let me look fast here. Silver is 2, 467 silver pieces apiece.
4, 6, 7. Wow, that's decent.
108.
Okay, now for the gold. 3,000,
What's between gold and silver?
Electrum. There is no electrum in this hoard. And that's to be expected. Electrum is a very, very rare piece of coinage. We've probably circulated most of the electrum in
42 of those.
the Sword Coast region ourselves just by looting and buying using electrum and finding it in the hoards that we've found so far.
Okay.
574 gold pieces. And then,
Is that for each?
yeah,
574. 5. In between, and then platinum is at the bottom. right?
only 7 platinum piece.
And then the leftovers go in the.
No, that's
General hoard?
I've done the decimal round
Oh, perfect.
of up or down. So anything left is fractions that I'm not
That's.
fiddle with.
We're not gonna cut the coins. or-
No, we're not going to cut the coins. And so that's pretty much flat rate for everyone.
And how many gems total do we have? Just
Total gems is 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12 gems total.
Okay, so
Each of
6 out of
them.
that, we each get 2 gems.
Well,
Or we can just.
yes.
And they're
that
all
would mean-
50 gold pieces.
Yes, they are all worth 50 gold, so we each get about 100 gold once we sell the gems in Neverwinter.
Right. We're just
So,
gonna carry them there.
I'm just gonna count. I'm just gonna say take the 100 gold now,
Okay.
because narratively, because I really don't think that with 6 people looking for a gem shop, we're gonna fail the DC. I really don't.
Yeah.
But just my peace of mind. Well, Elizabeth didn't find it. Did you make sure?
Is this an investigation
Finn and
check?
find it.
Investigation was able to. Finnan was able to find a. Yes, it's an investigation check. Finnan probably found it. You guys can help if you want.
Oh, there might be more.
Um,
Oh, I only have 8. Good heavens.
I've got a total of 11.
okay.
We're tired.
You got
I got 8.
total.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Finnan's investigation bonus of +4, 16. Yeah. It's not a hard.
I have a 7 bonus on investigation now.
Good. You're an investigatable person.
It's a big person.
Yes. You're an investigatable person. I don't know what Ted's investigation bonus would have been, but Finnan manages to track down someplace. So everyone takes 100 gold on top of that. I'm gonna need some help here real fast.
Sure.
Getting that put down and then getting the hoard cut sent to Ted. So
No
real
problem.
fast, copper.
How much did they add?
What'd you say?
Didn't.
What
124 was.
124?
added.
282 is 124 is 6. Did you write down the actual numbers?
I didn't.
Okay,
I
I'll get them.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I forgot about Ted.
That's fine. And I had to do it too, because I didn't. I just wrote you guys the
Yeah,
calculations.
right. I should have written the number. I
So
just
I'm
didn't
gonna
realize I
really
had it.
fast get the calculations, and then
Okay.
keep a hold
You
of
want us
them
to
for a
write it
second.
down
that.
for you
I
so
will.
you can get
745 divided by 6. 124 for silver pieces. 2, 4, 6, 467. Gold pieces. 6. 574 for the gold. Make it 5. Make it 674 for the gold because of the
Oh,
gems.
right.
No, I don't want a large dot that go away.
The
And
dragon
then
doubled my wealth.
7 platinum.
China got it.
Okay. Okay, so for silver, that's what?
467.
467. 6. So 124 would be 2 pounds plus 467, right? What was it, 167?
467 with
467
silver.
silver.
8.5 pounds.
Or 10 pounds
10 pounds.
total. I'll set down the trail averages. Gold pieces is 6 or 7. 7 or 8, the extra gems.
Oh, right.
8?
8.
8 with the gems added. 800 and what?
674.
774.
No, total of 674.
Oh, 674.
Sorry.
Okay. 664 to 65.
How much do coins weigh?
50 coins to a pound, approximately. Yeah. So 650-ish is...
I'm just adding up my total number of coins right now.
13.
Okay, so 13 more pounds is 40. Sorry guys, dragon hordes.
Oh, we're so sad.
I apologize to the viewers really for this long period of muttering and scribbling. Platinum pieces is 7, yeah?
Yes.
It's not going to undo what we add to things. Okay.
Just under 50 pounds of coins.
Jeez Louise. Alright, how much coin do you think it would take to rebuild a city and a mine?
Given what we're paying for things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, it would be, I would think it would be on the order of like hundreds of gold pieces for houses, like 100, 200 gold pieces for a house, something like that.
So maybe 1,000 gold pieces to rebuild Neverwinter, or 2,000.
All together, maybe how many buildings are there? 15 buildings?
Something like that, with possible expansion.
Right, so they might not be, it might be, I would say probably 2,000.
2,000, okay.
And the mine,
The mine,
yeah, that's gonna be more, but they can get it up and running with probably doing bare minimum and then,
It's already
Adding.
running at a certain level. Isn't it? I'm just,
The mine, about a month ago, was as we found it when we walked, ravaged by a spell battle between mercenary wizards and a bunch of orcs against the gnomes, wild magic, and the wizards and dwarves who defended it. You remember how it works.
Yeah.
Like wrecked.
completely
So
wrecked.
they had to completely clear most of that stuff out. They had to rebuild the Forge of Spells where the spectator was. They had to completely rebuild all the quarters. They had to clean out the trough where the water wheel
Right.
for the blast furnace was, the crucible. They had to clear all the stuff out of there. To a limited degree, they had to clear out some of the bodies that we left. There was a certain amount of
absolutely.
corpse cleaning.
Yeah.
There was the pool
And
that Victor
bones.
fished the wizard out of that had to be cleaned and dragged and
Yeah.
purified. And so there's a bunch of, and then all of that had to be rebuilt.
Right, all the
to
doors
make-
had to be
all the doors had to be
rebuilt.
rebuilt. All the structures that had
Right.
moldered had to be rebuilt. So on and so forth.
Right.
So
And that's going to be a pricey undertaking, but it doesn't all have to happen at once for it to get underway.
okay.
yeah, I was thinking in terms of the mine, you do the stuff that's necessary for the physical plant, and people that are living there know that eventually
Yeah.
the mine's going to build itself back up.
Yeah.
But just for base reconstruction, ballpark, what are you thinking?
big is it compared to the city of
Pretty big. Honestly, that's less of a concern for you and just more of a concern for me to think about, because
Yeah.
you're not going to be putting in
Right.
any money.
No, I'm just
because
thinking
you already put in the blood, sweat, and tears to clean
To
the
clean it,
right,
right.
to bust chops
Right.
and take names, and so that's our payments into
Right.
rebuilding of the mine. That's mostly for your brothers, for your kinsmen, Gundren and Nundro to think about.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna think in terms of square footage. You're gonna have the quote unquote the same number of buildings, although they're all underground. It looked to me to be about the same size footage wise as maybe, I don't know, Phandelver maybe?
Say 10, 20, 30. Maybe 370 feet by about 370 by 210 is Thunder Tree. Total
Okay.
square footage ish. And then Phandelver. It's really hard to calculate, but if you look, each of those squares is 10 feet. Yeah.
And the Cragmore Castle?
Cragmore Castle, that is something you could also put into reconstruction.
That's what I was thinking. I want to get it back to being a. It's for what, my lady? Is that the.
Okma, god of wisdom or knowledge or something like
Is
that.
she a female goddess or a god?
I think it's a god. It might specify on there. I can do some more research into D&D lore
Okay, I was
who
just
Okma
curious.
is. But,
It's just mixing my mythologies and thinking that the god of wisdom would probably be like a female. But
Yeah, well,
but it does
yeah,
say god rather than goddess.
yeah, also, Okma is actually based in Celtic mythology and lore as a real deity of history. Revered as a patron of knowledge, if I remember correctly. Might have been a god of knowledge, it was a god of lore, because it was someone else. Okay, Fremen needs 124 copper.
So it's about 430 by about 350. So it's a little bigger than Phandelver.
That was Thunder Tree.
Oh,
That's
Thunder
what
Tree,
Phandalin is real
Oh,
fast
Phandalin.
here.
So-
I don't think Phandalin is bigger. It's 500. Okay, maybe bigger. 500. It's about a little over 1,000 feet from end to end.
Yes,
Phandalin.
it's bigger because the mines are about 450 by about 350 feet, approximately. They're 10 feet each square, right?
Yeah, this is a map of Phandelver with a 500-foot mark for scale.
And you said that the residents there had already started rebuilding it themselves.
At Thunder Tree?
No, if in,
Phandalin is not our concern.
Right. We're just
Phandalin
trying to
is
compare
already-
the sizes.
We're trying to compare sizes here.
It's bigger. Phandalin is bigger than the
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So
I expected that.
yeah. So okay.
124 is.
you didn't need the Cragmore.
No.
Could you do that for me?
649.
It's not Can we get it?
325 is silver. 467. 467. 2. 792. Math skills, people! I see 792. 2. I would like 674 freaking gold. 85 and 74, 159 159 is 259 is 859. I think we agreed that the general loadout was £20, £30. I feel like it was £30.
It was, that we just got, no, it wasn't that much.
Oh,
It was like,
£10?
let me see the numbers.
Yeah.
It's 2, yeah, about 12 pounds.
£12? Yeah, £12. We'll look at £12. 292. Finland's donkey. 12 pounds of coin! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, really.
Can you use that as a weapon?
Almost, yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, I look back on our early videos, and when you're haggling with
Yes,
Lamine over
Yes.
the cost of slings and bows,
yes.
going, really 3 silvers? Is that's so much for a long? I feel like a long quarterstaff and a sling, really. And now we're just like, yeah, we just killed a dragon and took its horn. Like back then, we're like, oh my gosh, red brands, we're all gonna die. And now we're like,
That's right.
boom, dragon.
Oh,
I
gosh.
think that we'll probably, when we get someplace to do supplies, want to replenish the company's healing potions.
Victor and Elizabeth did that already when they went to Neverwinter
that's
to
right.
purchase horses.
That's right.
They bought a total of 10 healing potions with the gains from the loot that we couldn't sell in Phandelver. They went to Neverwinter to buy horses. They sold
Okay.
the loot, like the cups, etc., and then used the loot to
Okay.
buy.
Should we
healing
pick up 2
potions.
extras since we're now a company of 6 instead of 5?
Why not? We have the money to do it.
We can do it, right? Yes.
So Victor gets real fast here. I got that chart back. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's 12 pounds on his donkey. And then it's 124 is degrees 78. 4, 6, 85 and 67 is 151. Is that right?
Yes. 102. 85 plus 67. 75 is 12. Right? How much was it?
Yeah, it's, 5 plus 2. Yeah.
7 is 12.
So it's 152.
Yeah.
752 silver pieces. And 674 gold. And it's probably going to take about 300 of that right off the bat to pay off his loan to Urban Wester for, I think he and Elizabeth took out at the beginning to rebuild Tresendar. About 600 gold pieces sound right for a
Yeah,
loan.
I think so.
So I'll quickly knock that off real fast. Both of them. They both completely broke the bank in the gold department to get the war horses. War horses are 400 gold pieces apiece, plus a saddle, military saddle, plus saddlebags to give them something that they can put food and water,
Yeah,
healing
they
supplies,
can't fight
etc.
with the gold.
No, they don't put the gold in there.
No, my
Oh,
point
yeah,
is,
yeah.
you would better spend it on
Oh
something
yeah,
that we can
and,
play
and
with.
I will freely admit they use some of the party funds to cover their
That helps
expenses.
all of us.
Yeah. War horses are nice. I'm going to do some more research on the mounted combat at a later date, but for now they don't need it. They mostly just got war horses as an exigency or contingency against future troubles.
Or
Dungeon
if
combat
there
in
would be a
D&D is a little
complacency
spiked.
against future troubles.
Yeah. Victor's getting better at his proper
Mechanisms.
articulation.
Good.
Under Elizabeth's
But we will
somewhat
miss that.
exasperated tutelage.
We will miss some of those cute ones.
Yes.
Endearing ones.
Yes. So you're in Neverwinter. You've just sold the gold. You just sold the gems, and it's getting dark. Would you guys like to find an inn for the night?
I don't know, can we afford it?
I don't know. Man.
Let me count my coppers.
Oh gosh. So there's
Yes.
pretty much any. Yes.
No, I was just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say,
Yeah. What?
I was gonna say, get rid of the coppers if I,
So.
Well, actually, that's just not. I mean, I don't want to walk around town strutting around like a rich person. I don't want to go in and throw gold around or anything else like that either. So yeah, I probably will get rid of some copper, but maybe not all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Victor have dispatched a messenger to Phandelver.
Really fast on this.
Ah. 2 coppers per mile. My map. Fast here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 2 coppers is 170 coppers is 17 silver is like just under 2 gold.
Right. Okay,
That
so
doesn't
gold.
sound so bad anymore.
Yeah, right. So what is there?
They're sending a messenger with the 600 gold down to Phandelver to pay
Very
off
good.
from them.
Very good. Yeah.
Gold piece with a tip for the messenger. That brings them to that.
how much it takes to restore at least the temple part of Craigmore.
Well, we can quickly calculate that while we look for an inn. Oh, Snapchat. Let's see what you want. Okay. There's an answer for him right now.
Okay, that's fine.
I was gonna say, at this point in time, we couldn't afford the time for a long,
Right.
not on the way. We gotta do it that way.
Okay, so really fast here. Pragma runs to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70-ish by about 230 by 03, whatever I said a second ago.
Okay. So certainly.
Well, it's mostly
Gold.
stone, you've got to
And it's
hire
mostly
masons,
stonework.
yeah.
Right.
So you need a little more skilled labor there.
Right.
So it would run you a little more expensive to rebuild the whole castle.
Yeah, I'm not sure I wanna initially do that, but.
You've already rededicated the shrines.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is done. Clearing a trail to make it easier for worshippers to get there and or establishing that as your personal base of operations would run you for a little bit more than a couple thousand, probably maybe 1,000.
To get
So
old.
to get the whole castle
Right.
refurbished would
That's
probably be
what I
about
would
1,000 gold.
That's what I would think.
I can do it, but that would leave me
In the interim though, before you
pauper
decide
to 87 gold.
We don't
So
have any more dragons to kill. We don't have any more dragons to kill, no more.
Yet.
So yeah, I know. Okay.
So Neverwinter offers any and all ranks of inn,
Yes.
ranging from squalid to mine to aristocratic. So you can run it anywhere from 7 coppers 1 silver piece, 5 silver pieces, 8 silver pieces, or 2 gold pieces a night. Elizabeth is definitely leaning into the idea of an aristocratic stay for a while, since we're in Neverwinter.
Yeah. I'm thinking more in terms of like, how many nights do you think we're going to stay?
No more than 1 or 2.
I'm
She's
thinking like
thinking
the
that-
8 silver night. So I want my horse, I want my animal well
Comfortable?
taken. Yeah. I want
It
my
would be
animals
taken care of. Well, modest at 5 silver pieces is the equivalent of the stone hill in Phandelver.
Oh, they took
Comfortable
good
is
care
a
of
step. Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. It's not like we don't eat like kings, but we don't starve either. Kind of a
We
level.
don't have to eat there. Are there other places that one can eat?
You could find a
Yeah.
meal anywhere at one of the eateries.
I'm just
in the
thinking
area.
modest because that's
Modest for 5?
Modest 5,
Okay.
yeah, that sounds good. So let's-
Elizabeth is currently trying to talk Victor into going to an aristocratic inn for a meal and
we can join them for
a stay.
meal. Or we can let them be alone.
Oh hush. Finnan
I
is
could
kinda
use a
like-
good meal, I will say
Finnan is
that.
kind of like tagging along, like, I just killed a dragon, yo. I deserve some
How much
aristocracy
is
here.
how much is
Understood.
the aristocracy?
2 gold pieces a night for a room, and then 2 more gold pieces for a meal. So it'd be 4 gold pieces a night, day. Well, it'd be 4 gold pieces for dinner, and then it'd be a total of approximately, if we stayed for more than a day or 2, approximately 10 gold pieces a day at an aristocratic inn for 3 meals a day, and
What about animals?
stabling is pretty universal. If I can find the other adventuring guide here.
Because we've now got 2 animals each.
2 animals each, yep. And with that in mind, stabling runs to 5 silver pieces pretty universally. The animals don't usually get a lot more, a lot better or worse. Typically the squalid inns charge less because they're doing better on your animals,
Okay.
and you're just
Well,
getting the short end of the stick of the squalid inn.
So, I'm sorry, how much did you say for the animals?
5 silver
silver
pieces
per night?
per day per night. So
I'm gonna do this 10 more, so,
if we stay if we're planning on staying for 2 days,
yeah, just call that good for right now.
just
I would,
paying-
however, like to tag along for a good meal tonight.
Yeah.
Just a celebratory, I could kick in 2 gold for, yeah, that sounds
So-
actually phenomenal.
So
What was the comfortable in?
comfortable is
5
8 silver pieces
silver.
for a stay, and then 5 silver pieces for a meal.
No, I was thinking that I might
8 for-
stay in a modest.
And a modest or a comfortable?
I mean, a comfortable.
That's right.
Just because
Yeah.
I just did fight a dragon.
Yeah.
I'm staying comfortably, I don't wanna do squalid. I don't.
Well, you've got modest too.
Elizabeth and
yeah,
Victor are
I'm
both
thinking-
paying in platinum with some gold on mine to make up the change because it's Neverwinter. You're in an aristocratic inn. You can kind of afford to let a little platinum show. And honestly, it's going to attract less attention at an aristocratic inn in
Right,
Neverwinter than in Phandelver, for example, or someplace like that. Platinum's going to attract less attention
How
because
about-
you're kind of expected in an aristocratic inn. You're expected
Sure.
to kind of have your hands on some gold.
I think
platinum.
even in the 8 silver or the 5 silver,
Sure.
the 8 silver a night, I would not pay in a shower of copper. I
No,
don't think that
no,
would be a
no.
good thing. I would like to get rid of it.
So there's 10 gold. We need 2 of the gold for the meal the first night.
Yep. 2 gold for a meal. Victor and Elizabeth are paying in
Just
advance
a check.
for 3 meals and 2 nights. Or 4, or something like that. They're paying 12 gold.
Right.
I don't remember what exactly that comes
Right.
out to. It's 4 meals and 2 nights, I think, is what it comes out to, because it's 2 gold per each.
Yeah, right.
So,
I have to get change if I use one of the platinums. But I can pay for the meal and get back. I'm trying to figure
It's
out
2
how
gold
to
for
get
the 2
Huh?
gold for the meal.
Yeah, but I would then get 8 gold back from 1 platinum. And I would not have a platinum that I have to, I've got 11 platinum.
Uh-huh.
So that would take me down to 10 platinum and I would have 8 gold.
How do you want to do it?
Now you said the inn was was 5 silver, right?
8
So
silver if you're
8 silver
uncomfortable.
comfortably.
8.
5 is modest.
So it's 16.
And then your animals are 5.
16 minus 10 is 26.
29 minus 16 is 36 is 32. Then, predictably, it's paying the copper.
Where's he staying? The aristocratic one?
No, he's paying. He's spending coppers for a comfortable inn and stabling for his
Okay.
war dog. Oh, heck, his war dog. I forgot about his war dog.
Can his war dog sleep in with him? He wouldn't have to stable it. Protects his dog.
Yeah, he makes the. If you want to help back him up on this,
Sure.
it's
It's a dog.
a dog wearing a saddle.
Take the saddle.
It's a
Finn
dog.
and-
It's a dog standing next to a halfling carrying a saddle.
It's
However,
a
the
dog.
persuasive argument that it would probably spook the horses and the other animals in the stable convinces
Yes,
the innkeeper to, for a couple of coppers, slipped to him by Finnan,
Yeah. It's
enables him to be like, he just kind of throws up his hands and like, just don't scare the patrons.
It got to.
What's the dog's name?
He doesn't have a name.
Oh, Finnan, you need to be dreaming about a name tonight.
He kind of looks down at the wolf dog, and it just kind of looks back up at him, and he's like, "We'll talk about it."
Okay, I've got all that taken care of.
Is it 600 coppers even?
Because he spent that many? Or
He hasn't spent 600 coppers, but he spent about 49 coppers
he
tonight.
ended up with that whole huge amount of them, right? Yeah.
Well, it's still his gold still does dwarf that now.
Oh, that's
He's got
good.
867 gold.
Oh.
Well, I've got 1,085 gold.
Yeah, so it's like he's just spending the coppers out of habit more than anything else now.
Understood.
So.
I have twice as many silver as I have copper.
And 10 silvers for animals. Alright. So you've been. They've secured rooms. Victor and Elizabeth have secured rooms in the inn. The Dancing Centaur, which is the name of the inn. So named because at the time of its initial opening, it actually had a centaur bard that would play and sing and dance at the inn to attract customers. So with that, you said 930. So with that, you have a very nice meal. Not truffles like you said that one day when you were when we first came to Phandelver. Victor kind of rids you about that as you're sitting down, like, oh yeah, I remember in Phandelver when we both he and Elizabeth are splitting, are buying a bottle of wine to share with us to kind of celebrate our little victory over Venomfang. So, and it's a fine bottle. So we're spending 10 gold each. We can afford it at this point.
All right. Well, I can afford to drink it then.
Oh, well, that's a good one, Nephra. So that's a good one. They pay in platinum. It's like, so. Then as kind of settling down after the meal, it's a very nice meal. It's like
Several courses.
Delicious, good quality, nice
Well
service. It's amazing. The wine's great.
Yes.
And so he kind of puts down his wine glass and is like, so now what?
That was an excellent question.
Alright. Check
Well, I think we'll get bored if we just sit around here forever.
That is true. That is true. I never thought of hiring ourselves out. Maybe to mercenaries for a caravan or something.
Been a mercenary before, and it is good. Very,
Yeah.
very good job.
You hear a chair scrape nearby. It's not like dead silent in the room, but it's like a subdued murmur. And a very, very well-dressed half-orc kind of walks over and goes, "Did I hear that you be searching for a job as mercenaries, perhaps?" Elizabeth kind of turns around and goes, "Why, yes, as a matter of fact, you did, good friend. And who might you be?" Because I never think the NPC's name's through. I'm like, if I'm not handed an NPC's name on a golden platter, I never think of their name. I'm trying to think.
Was he half orc and what?
Human. Orcs are typically. Shut up! My name be Shortjaw. And, well, I'm a caravan keeper. We run supplies from here to... Shoot, I'm trying to say... I'm part of the supply chain running supplies to Neverwinter. From Neverwinter to Thundertree, the new town that's being rebuilt. And also, but lately I've been striking out, and I've recently contracted to run supplies down to the new mine in the Phandelver region. But we've been attacked on the high road by goblins recently, and lost my last caravan. So, and my guards in the process. So I was looking. I've been in the market for new mercenary guards to guard my next caravan going out. It's going to be dangerous. They're not just goblins. They've had hobgoblins, some wolf riders. It's been a pretty organized band from what I can tell. It's a goblin, possibly some orc war band that's been moving down out of the mountains. There's been some activity going on up there. They've been pushed out of the mountains to attack down here. And, but it's a solid job. And I'll pay you each 150 gold apiece if you get the caravan to Phandelver intact. He kind of sips slowly from a wine glass and goes, "What exactly are you traveling with, my good man? Rocks that you're willing to only pay 150 to the saviors of the Phandelver mine, the destroyers of Venomfang, terror of the Thundertree countryside? Call it 200. Come, 200, and then we'll call it a bargain." 175 and we'll call it a bargain. She goes. She looks over at Victor and he kind of does an almost imperceptible nod and she goes, "Done." He kind of spits on his hand. And she kind of looks at it for a second, screws her face up. Victor just kind of reaches over, steps in, and the orc catches a little interchange and goes, "Ah, so you're the lady's handspit, are ya?" And Victor kind of looks at him and goes, "Handspit. I won't forgive it, but I will try to forget it. Come, share a drink with us, friend." And so you spend the rest of the evening with over the last bottle of wine left, discussing the details of the caravan, which leaves in 2 days' time. So it leaves at dawn on the it's like evening, day, night, dawn of the next day. So. What do you wish to do with the rest of the evening, or do you wish to just turn in?
Well, is the town still awake?
This is Neverwinter. I don't know exactly what the lore behind it is, but essentially it's, from what I've read in some brief campaign overviews, it's some kind of either environmental or alchemical arcane shield around it that prevents the cold of Wildmount and the northern realms from pressing down, hence its name, Neverwinter. So I can say for tonight that there's probably some kind of nightlife going on. It may not be like Vegas, the city that never sleeps, but it's definitely one eye open at all times, kind of there's some kind of nightlife going on. There's probably some gambling dens if you're so inclined. There's probably something going on at night. So.
Well, I found that people in gambling establishments don't really like to have me come in, since they don't trust the fact that I might somehow cast a spell.
Well, the higher end establishments usually have some kind of a dispel magic glyph at the door that casts a field of anti-magic through the entire establishment to prevent that very claim from being raised, or the actual attempt thereof being endeavored. So, unless you got into a fight, it's pretty safe in there. From a cheating accusation standpoint, the only accusation that could be leveled against you would be your own fast hands and actual mortal cheating. Any different, and in the high establishments that have that kind of stuff, you're going to be paying a higher price for your bets, but you will have some pretty beefy either ogre or half orc bouncers keeping a watchful eye on things to make sure that things run in an orderly fashion. So anyone creating trouble is liable to be hauled out pretty quickly.
Well, as a result of not being able to, I've never become very skilled at it, so I'm not really looking
I'm not a gambler.
for
Yeah. Finnan kind of slips out the door and goes off down the street alone.
Yes. I think. Is there musical entertainment
in the
available?
tavern? There's in the Dancing Centaur. There is still
Oh, yes. Oh, there is still.
they've hired in as much as possible various bards, centaur bards when they can find them. Right now, there's no centaur bard at the moment, but
there's still.
there's a band playing.
I would be very content to sit here and sip this fine wine and listen to
And we're
music for a
probably
while.
going to need to get more wine if we're going to spend the evening. I guess a bottle of wine is not going to last 5 people.
Well, are Elizabeth and Victor going to be staying with us?
No, they after probably 20 minutes of discussing the business details,
Right.
they both turn into their respective rooms to get a good night's sleep to get ready for tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
They
Who
get ready for
knows?
the next day.
Oh, okay.
Well, tomorrow we're probably gonna be running some shopping
Right.
to get ready to go up, down the high road and well, essentially a sort of a repeat of our first adventure together.
Yeah.
Of traveling down the high road to the Tribor Trail to Phandelver with supplies for. In this time, it's the rebuilding of the Wayback Cave mine, and this time we know that there is goblins on the high road,
And
and
possibly hobgoblins.
we just missed them essentially.
Mhm.
They weren't in the area that we were when we came up the high road, or we
Good
would have had a
thing.
fight on our hands.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah.
Well,
For
I'm-
nothing. I prefer to get money for it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm enjoying some music for an hour or so, but I think I will. Are you staying at the same inn I'm staying at?
I think so. We'll walk back.
Just enjoy the evening. It's Neverwinter here. What a delightful concept. So, we turn in. I turn in.
All right. So next morning, you gather your money, I'm assuming, and head out into Neverwinter. What are you looking for?
We're going to want to refill water.
Water's not.
Take money.
Water's been dealt with.
I'm just
No,
trying.
you're right. It's a good thing to check.
We've got probably have enough food.
Yep.
I probably need a little more fodder. We're taking
On the
care
high
of
road, it'll be fine.
Okay.
There's,
Then-
if you look at the map here, down the high road, it's reasonable
Oh, yeah.
grasslands all
Okay,
the way down
yeah.
the high road, all the way
Alright.
down the Tribor Trail
That's
to
Okay.
Phandelver.
Okay. Well, I'm not too sure what we're. It's a
I
big
don't
town.
need weapons.
No.
Don't need weapons, but
We've already
I
got
already
our
have
spells.
chainmail.
Although, can we buy the spell? We need those when our other companion joins us.
What?
The 12th spell. 11th and 12th healing
spells.
potions.
Oh yeah,
we do need to buy those.
I think they're already bought.
Okay.
So, how much is
How much is
What is that?
I think Victor's, at this point, barring some criticism, Victor's going to just don Dragon Guard at this point, if no one has any objections to
No.
that. So,
You've told me that it doesn't work for me.
Unfortunately, wizards require
Wizards require that they're vulnerable.
no, that they're unimpeded by armor to focus on their spellcasting.
Although I'm up to 28 now.
+1 breastplate. Breastplate is 14 plus 2 dex. +1 is. +1 bonus to armor class. Plus 17. Not bad. 19 armor class now with a shield.
Wow. Not bad is a very good way of putting it. I, not knowing what's available in what
Well,
I need.
if you're not interested in just shopping for something as you go along, you can see other things if you're so inclined.
I mean, our last adventure was so quick that we didn't expend any of our supplies,
Yeah.
which won't be the case this time. Because it takes a certain amount of time to get down there.
I was looking for some random town accounts where these are all plot hooks. I'm like, I'm not going to get you guys tied up in political intrigue when you're trying to get out of town in a day.
No, that's
All
not.
right.
Okay.
So, do you want to look for any entertainment, any contests of strength, or arcane contests? There are places where you can engage in a wizard's duel, which is essentially a non-lethal arcane contest between two casters seeking to determine who is the more powerful arcane wielder. There are similar feats of martial prowess that you can enter in that are non-lethal, either with weapons or bare knuckle. There are races of various animal, like horse races, but not just horse racing. There's lizard racing. There's wolf racing. There's like dog fights, but like with various animals. There's almost any form of entertainment you could desire is found to be anything you want to buy, anything you want to do, anything you want to see, can pretty much be found in Neverwinter. In the words of one of the creators, I was watching the Dungeons and Dragons Arm of Thieves trailer breakdown with one of the game creators from, I think it was from Wizards of the Coast, and he was basically like, look, if it can't be found in Neverwinter, it can't be found anywhere within reason, within certain limits, was what he was saying. So, with that in mind, is there any place specific that you guys would like to go? Anything generally you guys want to see, anything to look for? Anything like that?
Just popped into my head. Don't even know
Yes.
if it's available. Is it possible for one to buy an invisibility spell?
There are potions available with a high enough DC invisibility. Investigation check, you could probably buy a potion of invisibility.
Well,
Almost any
I
potion
would
you could
want
think
to
of could probably be found in.
find the price, but I mean, I don't want to spend 16 electron or anything on it.
Yeah.
So,
I
would I
can
have an idea of what the price would be going
check.
into this?
Let me check if I can see if I can find. What are you looking for? Invisibility?
Invisibility.
I think it ranges somewhere in the neighborhood of 180 gold pieces. Bearing in mind that your invisibility will drop when you attack.
I know. But if I cast a healing spell, will it drop? Oh. Oh,
Well,
okay.
if you attack,
Right,
if
I
you
draw
launch
roll
an
the
attack
20.
on something, If you cast a healing spell, probably not. Like if you were to take the invisibility potion, as long as you didn't attack anything,
But if I were just there to heal and hide.
and as long as where's the invisibility? Ends early for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
Oh,
Healing spell.
healing spell. Yeah,
So-
never mind. I was just thinking
And
about
it's up to an hour. So if you were going in somewhere sneaky, that would work. If you were just trying to use it as a jump on someone, that would work. But as soon as you cast a spell or attacked,
But not a cantrip?
no, not a cantrip. But if you attacked, that would count as an attack.
Right, but
The only cantrip I can think of you casting would be like Thaumaturgy or Spare the Dying,
right.
as the only ones that would be non-lethal, non-attack.
Not attack, right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was a bad idea. I was just trying to think
It
of
seems
something.
a bit over the top to buy a potion that your wizard can learn a spell for a day and burn a spell slot to cast to invisible at the
Right,
time
yeah.
it's needed.
Yeah,
Um,
that
Do I
seems
have invisibility?
You can learn it if you don't already have it.
I don't think I have it. What
If it's in
is-
your learned spells,
Yeah, it's
then
not
you-
in my learned spells.
okay, then in that case you can take time that I can work with you later to find out how much exactly. And possibly some gold to write it into your spell book.
Yeah.
It takes some time, meditation, and writing the spell into your spell book, but you can learn it. And you can put it, if you put together a spell book as a separate thing from your learned spells, you can take from the spell book, and I'm thinking that this list right here is your learned spells right here. Is the wizard list right here. As these ones right here are all in your spell book. So then you can learn any of those with a certain amount of time and meditation, which can be taken during a long rest.
Well, I've got all of today.
Right. I'm not saying you should learn invisibility now because it's not really going to be useful when we're trying to be a large and in charge presence along
Right.
the high road.
Right.
Walking along, leaving boot prints in the dust, or just sitting in the back of a wagon invisible.
Or having a horse that's just kind of going along.
Well, the
without-
horse would be invisible too, potentially.
Sure,
Anything the target is touching or is wearing or
Right.
carrying, and I don't know whether that would apply to the horse, or if you had the horse drink it, and then you would be being carried by the horse, whether that would render the horse invisible as well. But so at this point, or if you cast invisibility on the horse and then got to the horse was carrying you, I think that would count as you being carried by the horse. So you would go invisible and you would
I
be.
might lose
and
I might lose my horse if I fell
Well,
off.
that is true. You could also, however, I think you can dismiss the spell for an action, or wait an hour and just be like, horse!
There you are! Unless
I
you train
think
it to come to a
passive
whistle.
that, well, I could see casting a invisibility on the donkey because he's carrying my wealth.
Yeah, that would be troublesome if you lost him.
So no, I
No
don't want
invisibility
it.
for today, that's fine, but,
Okay.
No.
So is there anything else you guys want to do for the rest of the day?
Kind of a boring.
Rest stop.
I don't
Okay.
want to. I don't want to do any feats of fighting or anything like that.
Okay.
No.
Did you want to see if there was a temperature marathon we're doing here and go just pray and meditate for the day?
That is a brilliant idea.
Okay.
I haven't
Roll an
been-
investigation check
Yes.
to find a temple.
15.
Yeah, you find it.
Okay.
You find one of the temples to my founder doing within Neverwinter and spend the rest of the day in prayer and meditation at the temple. Many of the clerics and priests and acolytes within are dwarven, although there are some other people in there, a couple of half-orcs, a human, gnome, and a couple of, actually a tiefling, which is you recognize it by the blue skin, pale white eyes, and horns and tail, as the tieflings are of fiend or demon and human stock combined, and so they are half some demon or devil and then half human. So this one is an acolyte of Mine of Phandelver. You just barely recognize it as it hurries past in the wake of a dwarven priest, at least a good head and a half taller than its superior as it walks by.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition is potentially amusing to you
Yeah.
as you watch this probably close to 6 foot tall
Oh my
tiefling go walking by in a posture of an acolyte behind a maybe 5 foot tall dwarf, perhaps.
Excellent.
It's a short dwarf.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Well, he's probably a bit older, maybe a bit stupid. Possibly, yes.
So-
I haven't had a whole lot of time to just sit and read.
Okay, so you sit
go
and read.
back to my room and read.
Finnan completely disappears for the day, and comes back that night as you all reconvene at the Dancing Centaur.
Mhm.
Okay. You all reconvene, and Finnan has a black eye and is holding his left side, so it hurts, but has a smile on his face that reveals some nothing missing, but definitely a pain around the lips that are clearly a bit broken. But he's grinning, and he's got a pouch containing about 30 extra gold pieces.
Ooh, Finnan. Well done.
Honestly, one, I assure you, he protests at your look.
Could you use a little healing there?
I won't say no.
Very good. Very good. I have a knight. I will roll you a. That's my best healing word.
Cure
healing.
wounds.
Cure
Cure wounds at second
Okay.
level is your,
Yeah.
or third, at second or third level is your highest. He probably doesn't need a second or third level, but
Yeah, I'll roll a second.
second is fine.
So that's 2d8 plus
And
6.
they get replenished overnight.
Yes. Sleep. 5 plus 8, 13, 19. Does that help you out there, my friend?
You see the lips are just like the breakage and the mashed upper lip just kind of returns to normal. His eye, the sponge goes down, and you can actually see out of that eye again.
Oh, good.
And he
Is
kind
that
of
the one he
stops.
keeps open at night?
Actually, it was the other one. But,
Oh!
but like he kind of stops hunching around his ribs. He's clearly something was very wrong here, but it's better now. So, like, much obliged, Etra. Much obliged.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Victor kind of looks at him. He's got kind of a streak of blood across his face.
Victor does?
And Elizabeth is sporting some dents in her mail. And he's like, "It's not mine, don't worry." Don't waste your spells on me, Claire.
Right,
It's
right,
not
right,
my
right.
blood,
Oh, okay.
nor hers.
Alright,
Um,
alright.
Elizabeth is a little more forthcoming. She explains that they entered one of the martial contests mentioned and proceeded to thrash all comers
Oh, yes.
in tests of arms. Victor was forced to be a little bit less than merciful against one of his opponents, but he did survive thanks to the on-site cleric, very, very high-level cleric who cast Spare the Dying and then healed him. So he survived, but he definitely got taught the lesson of admit when you're down.
Oh, yes.
Which Victor admits to at the time, telling his opponents. High elf with pretensions of blade mastery that basically don't take it too hard. I've never learned that lesson myself, but I had to learn that lesson. I had to not learn that lesson against a dragon.
Yes, exactly.
So you're not even on my rating up front.
Right.
Basically, Elizabeth also got pretty dinged up by an ogre. An ogre that she battled, but did wind up defeating it. They both won 71 and 106 gold pieces respectively on side bets and the purse respectively.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Sounds like a good
Six.
chance to pay back the war horse.
4 is
If they stayed there long enough, they could finance the rebuilding.
Perhaps we'll come back after this first job and do some good
6,
earning. Certainly sounds more profitable than
7.
a day of mercenary. But I won't
All right.
complain.
So another night spent.
Yes,
Another
I didn't.
no
Yeah,
wine
right.
this time. Just,
Yeah.
even Elizabeth was like, we'll go with what they give us with the meal. Excuse me. And then in the morning, you report to Short John's caravan and set out along the trail. Alright, so you travel. You're traveling at about 30 miles, or
Caravan so for two.
here it is. The travel pace is between normal and slow.
Yeah,
It's probably about 20 miles a day.
yeah, makes sense. How many miles have we got to travel in this stuff?
Ugh.
I never counted it.
It's like 85 miles
So we
approximately.
got 2 to 3 days, probably 3.
20 miles,
4 days.
Oh, 4 days, yeah.
4.5
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
So nothing really happens for the first 2 days, but on the third day,
I thought he was going to give us money.
eh,
Never mind.
Thank you.
on the third day,
I better take the shoe on the now.
all right.
Leave it there, then you can't say anything more.
My word.
He's got to write that down.
Just hang on to that line, okay? We'll use it later.
What? Leave it there?
Take the shoe out of my mouth and leave it there.
Oh, okay.
And then you can't talk.
Okay.
All right. So you see. Eight goblins and goblins. 4 hobgoblins
8 goblins, 4 hobgoblins.
and 2 wolves come out of cover near the road. Maybe, let's see, how far away? Distance. About 130 feet away.
Okay.
Okay.
About 130 feet away. Rise out of cover in the grasslands. And with that, you get rolling initiative.
Let's see, what was
That's a lot of them. It's an average of what they roll, right? Not their.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
It's well.
Because
Also,
there's so many-
I'm not going to actually roll individually for them.
Oh, okay.
I'm rolling once for them, and
Okay.
then against our average.
Average, okay.
I've got
15.
13.
What was that?
13.
15.
Okay, we take the initiative count. Finnan falls off his horse.
Intentionally?
Or not his horse, his dog. He's like talking, and then he sees it, and like he just goes, "Oh crud!" And as he tries to get the dog around, the dog is not really like
Oh, yeah.
100% tame yet.
Right, right.
So they have a bit of a tussle about which way they're going to go,
Yeah.
and he winds up falling off,
Oh, dear.
and or nearly falling off enough that he's like tussling with the wolf rather than trying to deal with the immediate threat.
Okay. Go. Okay.
So
That's okay.
with that in mind,
They're how far away?
130 feet away.
How bunched up are they?
They're I said 2 wolves.
Yeah.
Let me run this real fast here. 2 wolves. 4 hobgoblins and goblins. Okay. The goblins are in a cluster. The 4 hobgoblins, I said? The 4 hobgoblins are, like, kind of online in a skirmish formation, trying to advance.
Okay.
How wide apart?
Wide enough that you couldn't hit them with a... You can hit the goblins, but not the hobgoblins. The hobgoblins are a little bit more smart and martially tactically minded, and they know the dangers of attacking a caravan with a potential arcane caster that may or may not have area of effect spells. The goblins are not quite there, and they tend to bunch up for mutual protection, yes.
Can I look at the... I can't remember how wide.
5 feet for lightning bolts, 30 feet for fireball.
Okay. But it's everything in a linear line, so...
You could, if you fired lightning bolts... Sorry, I was thinking about flaming sphere first, because that's been your go-to for so long.
Yeah, so I was thinking.
No, it's fine. Opening with an area of effect spell is a great morale weapon, and can take something like lightning or fireball can take something like this completely off the board. It can take a chunk of the throat.
I was thinking of going straight through the hobgoblins to the goblins.
Okay, you'll probably hit 1 hobgoblin, and how far does this sucker go? Lightning bolts, 100-foot line. So you might want to wait until they're a little closer to cast lightning bolts. Honestly, I don't know.
They're both 100 foot.
120 feet. Oh, they're both 100 feet? Oh,
Fireball is 150 feet.
Oh, okay. So I can hit the hobgoblins.
You could hit the hobgoblins and probably take the goblins in your sphere of influence with a 30-foot radius. Radius or down? Let me double check that real fast.
It's within. Which
Fireball is a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point. So if you put the fireball like between the line of hobgoblins and the goblins, you would definitely take most. Well, you'd take most of the hobgoblins and all of the goblins. You might even catch one of the wolves, because the wolves are like fanned out flanking. They're like the hobgoblins have clearly thought this through. They're clearly the brains of this war band.
Yeah.
And this may not be the whole band, but it's definitely a strong scouting party, or a strong raiding party out of the war band. And they've clearly arranged it somewhat tactically with strong fighters on the front line, goblins in the rear because they can't be counted on to hold a charge or stand a counterattack, and then the wolves as flankers, kind of serving as ad hoc cavalry to screen and harry the flanks.
Yep.
So I'm going to put the
fireball.
I figured that
how many third level spells do you have?
I have 2 level 2s.
Good.
The 2 level
3s?
3s.
Excellent. You can fire a fireball now, wait until they get closer, and then fire a lightning bolt if you still want to do the lightning bolt attack. Personally, I don't really care whether you use lightning bolt or fireball. Both of them are going to hurt, and they're in range of fireball right now. Fireball is a bit like arcane artillery in this world.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You're a bit like a one-man artillery team.
Yeah.
And I figure if I do that first,
it may take them completely off the board with fireball, because it's
I'd love to earn our money off of this day.
Yeah.
So you'll need 8d6. Somewhere around here, there's another dice
You've
box.
got a whole bunch of red ones.
Yeah, there's another dice box around here somewhere. The black and bolts went somewhere.
Oh, I saw it.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I've got 2.
7.
I took one of.
Here's one right here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Here's 5.
I may give her back hers.
6. There's 2.
That's 8 right there if you give Mom back hers.
You're black, right?
Yep.
All right.
These won't all fit into.
No, that's
Here,
fine. You can roll them.
2.
You can roll them sequentially.
Yeah, I would roll 4 at a time so you don't bunch them up and end up with a really big mess.
What's your DC spell save now?
Oh,
It's probably 15 because I am.
it's 15.
15? Okay, thanks. It's
2,
dirty.
5, 10, 12.
Alright.
12.
So roll for the hobgoblins.
23, 24, 25, 26, 30.
Oh, mama.
That's 30 to each person.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit right here and not roll for the goblins because None of them have higher than 15 HP.
Okay.
So you can wipe the 6 or whatever.
8 goblins are gone.
8 goblins off the board right now. Because they're clustered tight enough behind the hobgoblins. They're in a 20-foot area approximately. Okay, maybe not.
I
Knock.
missed 2.
Uh-huh.
I didn't count 2, so I'm actually 2 higher than what I told you.
Okay.
So 32.
32. Trying to think of spacing here. Knock. Oh, heck. Knock 4 goblins off the board. I'm sorry. Because I don't think they could be that tight and still hit the hobgoblins. You have to either take all the goblins out, or if you want to half and half it, you have to only take
I'd
four
rather
off the
hit
board.
hobgoblins.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I said, what, 4 hobgoblins?
Yep.
Okay. Do.
I do like being level 5.
Oh yes, this is way more fun.
Okay. So 3 of them fail and take 32. 1 of them succeeds and takes half. So that's
15.
16 for 32.
1, 2, 3.
It's a good start.
So you extend your hand out, and this beam of red light just zaps out from your hand, and about 130 feet away, just explodes into this ball of fire, and you see 4 of the goblins, and all 4 of the hobgoblins just get incinerated.
All 4 hobgoblins?
Incinerated.
Whoa.
Even the one that did the save.
Yes. He didn't have 16 HP.
There you go.
Fireballs, man. This is why the fireball is the wizard's go-to stereotype spell
Well,
of attack.
as soon as you told me there was going to be an attack on the road, I'm thinking, I can probably save us a lot of physical damage.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's a band of what? 2 wolves.
4 wolves. Two wolves. Yeah, 2 wolves and 4 goblins.
Yeah. I mean,
And you still have another attack up your sleeve or not?
I
yet?
can.
Wizards do not have multi-attack.
Okay.
no. But we're
But I
too
do
far
have
away. You
one.
can.
I can do magic missiles.
That's 120 feet.
Yeah.
They're about 10.
I've got 120 feet right here.
Yeah, they're 130 feet away minimum.
Awesome.
And that was the hobgoblins, so you could.
Wolves are on the flanking side?
They're not there yet.
Okay. Should I hold?
Basically,
If you want to hold your action until they get closer, go ahead.
Yeah, I would.
Um,
But that means that Victor and Victor and
300 oh, nope. Finnan is going to fire his bow with disadvantage.
He's going to do
Just
trick
a
riding.
you've got a
He's gonna hit
crossbow.
him in the
He
same
kinda
old
like-
place,
he kinda
right?
like spins underneath and just goes, ah!
You've got a crossbow.
I do.
Let me double check the crossbow's range real fast here. Crossbow. Whoop. Light crossbow?
I have both. I have a light and a regular or heavy.
There's light, heavy, and hand. What do you have?
I've got light, and it just says crossbow for the one that I was issued. So we
You have a crossbow issue?
I think so.
Do you have proficiency with martial weapons?
No, I have proficiencies with armor, shields, simple weapons, battle axes, hand axes, light hammers, war hammers, playing cards, masons, tools, vehicles.
Okay, now
I
I'm
was-
gonna assume that it was either a light or that it was a light weapon, a light crossbow.
Okay. It was not issued. I must have bought it or picked it up someplace. Because I thought it came with the.
If you have a crossbow that's been issued with you in the print,
It's not. I thought it
Okay.
was.
I thought you want one.
Yeah, I probably did.
I'm gonna say you bought a light crossbow because it would be D8 piercing, and you would get your proficiency modifier for it. Because heavy crossbows and hand crossbows are martial weapons. So yeah. With a light crossbow, you can go up to 80 feet or 320 feet with disadvantage. No? Well, Finnan's gonna fire with disadvantage.
No.
And he misses.
But
Because of
the
his
firing
because of his
from
head like
underneath,
almost hitting the ground at this point,
Yes.
coming off the wolf and firing under it, which
Probably
No.
just barely missed. I mean, it's pretty good.
oh no, he missed quite badly.
I was trying to cheer Turn it up.
appreciated, but no.
I'm just amazed he
But-
could fire in that position.
So is he. So is the wolf, frankly. Okay. He now is down to
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I did this one.
Alright. Who's next? You're gonna hold your action. You've done your party favor.
He's a
Uh,
lifesaver.
and Victor is going to fire his longbow without disadvantage because he has a longbow, and those things are up to 150 feet without disadvantage.
Nice.
Gee, I could have used the longbow instead.
Yeah, you could.
That's better. That's a hit. And he deals D8 plus 3 piercing.
Is he shooting for a wolf or a goblin?
Oh, a goblin. Or no, he's shooting for a wolf.
Okay.
That is 10 damage to the wolf.
D8 plus 3?
Yeah, 7. D8.
Oh, I was thinking 8 plus 3. Right, gotcha.
This is unfortunately not Hugh up against trees, but that's a rough looking wolf. He took it like
Yeah.
right in the throat, like right behind it's like right behind the ear. It's in bad shape. It's not well.
Good.
The goblins.
What about Elizabeth?
Elizabeth is holding her action because she doesn't have anything that can throw.
No,
The only thing she has is javelins.
you didn't actually say she holds
Yeah,
her.
I just looked at that and I was like, she's not gonna try to attack with javelins because javelins can only go up to 120 feet with disadvantage, and that's the outside range. So
We have no hobgoblins left.
no hobgoblins left.
The goblins might run.
Well, that's what I'm rolling for right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for individual morale. These are motivated little goblins.
Okay.
3 of them stay put, 1 of them runs off.
Do we want to try and fire him at
Why? He's running.
Okay, I was just
At this point, since we're not actually trying to get XP out of this,
True.
we're just
Yeah,
after
we
the
just
treasure of
defend the
175 gold pieces apiece to
Gotcha.
get the treasure down, to get the supplies down. If it was an XP adventure, I'd say sure.
yeah.
Take your horses, ride him down,
Yeah.
kill the scum,
Yeah, nope.
whatever. But for now,
He's
we're just, at this point, we're a defensive operation.
Yep.
And we've already got, as long as we make it through alive, we get cash in hand.
Okay. Good.
So, with that, 3 of them run forward, yelling curses in Goblin. That you can sort of hear. They're still like 100 and
Okay, I was going to say, I
something
can
feet away.
understand them if it's goblin. Cover your ears.
Unnecessary.
Hurtful.
This is the wrong kit book. Oh, 30-foot speed. Okay, so they're gonna run 30 feet closer. They're only 100 feet away now.
Good.
And they are going. 2 of them are going to stop. Well, 3 of them are going to stop and attempt to fire arrows out of their short bows with disadvantage at us. They're going to fire at the fighters to start with.
Okay.
Excuse me. That will miss, especially given the Victor now has Dragon Guard on. That's unfortunate.
Does Victor have the ability to protect her as a...
He does. They are within 5 feet of each other. But Victor's being targeted right now.
Oh, it was to Victor the next one was.
And even if he could, it wouldn't matter because they're already firing at disadvantage. You can't impose double disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was just trying
no,
to
you're fine. You're
protect
fine.
him.
Elizabeth is going to use a fighting spirit point and grant herself 15 temporary hit points and advantage on her next attack. Or potentially all attacks on that turn. I don't know which one, but it doesn't matter. 15 hit points is what I'm after right now. The goblin got through her armor. D6. Yeah, that's 3 hit points. 3 points of piercing damage against Elizabeth on her temporary hit points. She's at 12 temporary hit points right now. It kind of like sticks in her chainmail, but it kind of goes through. It's not like more than maybe a little bit,
Okay.
like that, like maybe that far in, but it still hurts. You can see like blood start running down around a little bit. It's not like a free flow, but it's like a little trickle.
And the arrowhead's not embedded in her.
The barbs aren't in, but
Right,
it's
right.
like you can see just a little trickle of blood start coming down her arm. And the last one is going to fire at. Let's see. They're going to fire at you, and you just watch. And you just watch as your guys just right at your feet. Yeah. The goblin.
I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to taunt.
The goblin is going to take its bonus action to throw the bow on the ground and stamp on it.
There you go. That's a
Shouting
very good
angrily.
choice. So good.
Brings the round to the top of the round. They are in range if you'd like to use your held action.
Magic missile time. Folks.
Okay.
So.
What level?
Um.
Or how many charges do you want to spend?
Probably we're gonna have probably.
It's unlikely we're going to have another attack
Right.
today.
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay. Like you can expend all but one of them if you wanted to, because it's very unlikely that they're going to have more than one raiding party running around.
Okay, so we'll do all 6.
Great.
That's
she
fun.
has to decide who to target now.
Well,
That would be
first I got to
2
calculate
wolves
how
and
many.
4 and 3 goblins. That's pretty easy.
3 goblins. 6 is first, second, third, fourth level.
So 64.
6d4, so that's 2d. So 2d4 per goblin. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
2d4 plus 1 per goblin.
Yep.
Or plus 2 per goblin. Yeah.
So I need.
Who's worse,
So-
a wolf or a goblin?
Huh?
As far as attack potential.
Really, I forgot to roll morale for the wolves, so I'm just gonna double check that.
Do you have any extra
The one
D4s?
that got hit might run.
Yeah, the one that got hit does run. So
So
there's
he's
one
got-
wolf left.
Okay.
But the other one
it's
is still coming on.
2 each. 2 for the wolf and 2 each for the goblins. That because I
2
have
each for
8.
2 of the goblins. Six missiles.
Okay. So do we have any more than just the one D4?
I'll dig out what I have.
Okay.
So
It's
we
only
got-
6?
well, it's a 4th level.
Right. Plus.
6 charges.
Okay.
I'm gonna double check the one to magic missiles here, just because I'm rethinking this now. But 7 charges. Oh, that's not fair.
You start
You
with
can only
3.
expend up to 3 of them
Okay.
of the charges.
Okay.
For each charge you expend beyond 1, the spell's level increases by 1. So
Is 1 3?
it would be a 3rd level magic missile,
Okay.
Which is
which would be
5.
first, second, third would be 5. I've been totally screwing this up both on the mechanics
you
of
get
that
5.
wand and how many missiles actually get fired from a wand of magic missiles. There's 3 d4. You need one more?
Yeah.
I've got one.
5.
Alright.
D4.
Yep,
Second.
the look like one
Yeah, the one that I
you hate
like.
so much.
Well, it was hiding.
Yeah.
From my angle, it was.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus
5.
Plus 5.
3 is...
Oh.
Yeah, plus 5, because it's d4 plus 1 per dart. So
What
it's
did I
plus
say
5
total was?
is
But it's per, like I have to,
d4 plus 1 per dart. So each of those d4s has one attached to it.
okay, so 2, 5, 10, 12, 15.
Oh, good.
Is that for each of them?
That was...
Or
if-
2 of them?
Well, each of those darts gets attached to a goblin.
So I have to,
2 per goblin, or something like that.
did I roll
It's-
6 of them? Because I didn't get a 6
Well,
of
no,
them.
it's you've only got 5 that you can roll.
Okay,
You get 2, 2, and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give the 4, which is the one that was stamped to the, which is actually 5 to the wolf.
To the wolf, okay.
5 damage to the wolf, and then 5 damage to a goblin, and 3 and 5 damage to a goblin. Oh, they all got the same amount of damage.
Okay, one of the goblins goes down. only got 4 of the goblins already went down, I forgot. One of the goblins does not go down, but it's close. It's real close. Okay, one of the goblins does go down.
Okay, so we have 2 left.
Oh, wait. Yeah, 2 left.
Okay.
What about the wolf?
The wolf is looking hurt. It didn't like that very much. But, so you said it was 5, 5, and 5?
5 and 5, yeah.
For the goblins?
Turns out
Okay,
that way.
good. Yeah, you got 2 left. Because one ran away. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Alright, take those back, thanks. Alright. So, with that, did you want to go, or did you want the terrible trio to go next?
Let's have them go next.
Alright, Venom is going to fire again. Having wrenched himself up and around. He's still at disadvantage. He does hit. Seven points of damage
2.
to one of the goblins, which goes down. Goblins are not that sturdy creatures.
Right.
So we've got 1 goblin and 1
One
wolf
goblin left and a wolf.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Victor.
Elizabeth is going to. Oh, wait. Forgot to roll his usage dice, which did go down, by the way. Down some arrows. Alright. Elizabeth is going to roll her javelin. Disadvantage. Which plus 7 hits
Yes.
for D6 plus 4 piercing. 10 damage to the goblin, which just the javelin just takes it right under the chin, just all the way out the back, all the way through, just kind of it falls backwards on the javelin, just like propped out, like this grotesque minute. Actually, I don't know if I'm good.
I don't think he said
Oh
that.
wow! Did you hear that?
I did, but I don't think he said that.
Oh no, he didn't say that.
Oh, that really felt good.
Oh, that felt good.
Okay.
And Elizabeth is going to roll her usage dice. You don't fine. Again, the goblins.
Cool.
Unfortunately, no XP will be awarded because we're working our way up to the Dragon of Ice Peak campaign. But,
Did the wolf die?
oh, dang, the wolf is not dead. Victor is going to fire on the
Yeah.
wolf. With plus 6 is 15. If he gets... Nope, that's a hit. So D8 plus 6 points of damage.
Not
The
dead yet.
arrow slams into the wolf's chest, and it's not dead yet, but it's hurt. Like, it's really hurt.
Okay.
Did you want to do anything?
Is it Finn's?
Finn's gone, Elizabeth's gone, Victor's gone.
Well, I was just thinking magic missiles at a level 3.
Okay.
Well, yeah, level 3 spell.
Level 3?
He's not got much.
No.
The wolf's on death's door.
No, I meant,
you could probably take it out with a cantrip.
Yeah.
Or-
well, then
or-
I'll do
or a longbow.
firebolt.
Firebolt? Okay, roll for the attack.
I just wanted to make sure something
Oh, well,
would
if you
hit.
if you want to make sure something hits, go ahead and roll a first level magic missile.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do that.
You get your D6s.
Oh, thank you. You can hang on to those because you're going to fireball.
Right. Gotta get some myself on the floors.
So I need.
And if you guys want to go to the game store next to Sport Clips and pick up some loose, or if you want to go down to Odyssey, pick up some loose D4s and D6s and stuff, that's why we're there, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 3, right?
3 of those. Yep, you want some extras?
I can
That's
do
extra
that.
D4s.
Three, 4, 6, 5, 6 plus 3 is
9, that kills the wolf.
Sneak.
So the 3
Tight.
darts just slam into the wolf, and it just gets pitched over backwards. It's very dead. So, for the sake of narrative, since it is 9 o'clock, I'm going to say that you make it safely through the last day to Phandelver. You receive 175 gold pieces apiece. And that wraps it up for tonight's adventure.
Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Please like, share, and subscribe if you found this video entertaining, and we'll catch you on the flip side at Goblin-Sighting D&D.
Our races are all hard because they're really old.